Hello, welcome to episode 9 of Johnny Talks. The title of this video is You can ban a gun, but you can't ban evil. In America, there has been a lot of high school shootings and just shootings in general. A lot of gun crime in America. A lot of innocent people have lost their lives through gun crime in America. Gun crime in America is huge. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't think there's a month that goes by without somebody losing their life to gun crime in America. So gun crime in America is out of control, and as a result, the one debate gets sparked and brought up every time there's a new and that is the debate whether to ban guns or not. And I want to talk about how I feel about that, how I feel about gun control in terms of a productive response, a long-term response to gun crime in America. I don't believe that banning a gun is going to be a long-term solution to what is happening in America right now with gun crime. If something becomes illegal, if you ban something, it doesn't mean that you're banishing it to the nether realm, no pun intended. Hello, Hamino Games. Hello to you, my man. Hello, ProChronicsVlogz. I appreciate the support as always, man. Really do. So I believe if you ban something, if you make it illegal, it doesn't mean that it's going to disappear. Somebody will still get their hand on something, regardless of it being illegal. So if America bans guns, people will still get their hands on guns, and they will still shoot and kill people. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. So I don't think that banning guns straight up is going to be a long-term solution to gun crime in America. So the title of the video is You can ban a gun, but you can't ban evil. Because you can't. You can't ban evil. I think what's happening in America is down to pure evil. Now, evil is something that I could talk about in another video, in another time. But I think you have to look at it from this point of view. The gun is the murder weapon. It's not the motive. The gun is not the person. And the gun is not the emotions and feelings that is going through the gunman's or gunwoman's mind. So the gun is just the weapon that committed the murder. But you have to go deeper than that. You can't just focus on the gun. You have to focus on why this person decided to walk into a school and shoot up innocent people. You know, teachers, students. You have to get to the root cause of the incident. And banning guns is not really getting to the root, and it's not really going to solve anything in the long term. Because as I said, if you ban the gun and make it illegal, it's not going to stop people from getting hold of that gun. So we have to ask ourselves, so why did this person walk into a school and shoot up people? Why did he do that? And I think it has a lot to do with evil. I think this word evil, you know. Evil, I believe, is an energy, just like any other energy. It's just like, it's like anger, it's like love, it's like, you know, love, hate, happiness. You know, it's an emotion, it's an energy, and it's very strong. But evil is real. Whether you are religious or, you know, pure scientific, evil exists. It exists in people. It exists in their mind. It exists deep inside of them. And I think that certain opportunities, not opportunities, try to choose my words carefully there. I think certain factors and certain conditions lead to, in a person, leads to that evil to rise inside of that person, and as a result then that person commits the most evilest of crimes, including high school shootings, including mass shootings. It doesn't have to be a high school. It could be a concert, could be a sporting event where somebody just decides that they're gonna shoot and kill. A lot of the times it could be, you know, a past employee who's got a grudge on their former employer for firing them, or it could be if it is a high school shooting, it could be a case where the student got bullied a lot and he feels like he needs to get his revenge by shooting people up. So, you know, we can react to those shootings by banning the gun, but it's not really going to stop these incidents from happening. It's not. It's not, because let's look at how this person was able to, like how these people are able to walk into these schools and shoot up, and let's look at how these people are able to walk into these concert halls, concert events, and shoot people up. I mean, obviously, like, security needs to be strengthened and seriously looked at, because I don't think it's the fact that the gun was, I don't think the issue here is the fact that the gun was legal. I don't think the issue here is the fact that these people can walk into a store like Walmart and buy a gun. I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue here is how they're able to walk into these premises with that gun and commit the crime. That's the issue. How were they allowed to do this? So if you ban the gun, it just means that that person is going to go to the black market, or it's going to go underground, or, you know, go deep into the streets to get his hands on a gun. That gun could be imported or whatever. The person I can't stress this enough, the person is still going to get their hands on a gun regardless of it being banned or not. But the evil inside of these people cannot and will not be banned. If evil is, I believe evil is in us all. I really believe that. I don't want to scare anybody, I don't want to go too deep on anybody, but I honestly feel like evil is a real energy inside of us all, and I think certain conditions leads to that evil to fester and to boil up to the point where we commit these horrible acts of violence. So, America, you can ban the gun, but you cannot ban the evil. We have to look at the evil. We have to look at why people are committing these acts of violence. We have to sit down with these people. Sit down with the student who's been bullied at school, who's making threats on social media saying he's going to shoot up a school. Don't just run in there with police and you know, okay, obviously safety is a priority, we must do that, but don't just end it there. Sit down with this student, talk to him, ask him why he is feeling this way. Because if you don't sit down with that student and ask him why he is feeling the way he's feeling, why he put that threat on social media that he was going to shoot up a school. Let's say, let's say thankfully it was a case where the gun didn't go off and he was caught and people didn't lose their lives and there was no harm done. Like, sit down with this student and say, why did you do that? What was going through your mind that you did this? Don't just be obsessed with the gun. Don't be obsessed with the weapon. Don't be obsessed with law. Don't be obsessed with the fact that a gun is legal. Sit down with the student and ask him, how are you? You know, how are you feeling? What led you to doing this? And he could open up and talk about how much he was bullied, or maybe something happened to him at a younger age in his life. You don't know until you ask. And I really believe that by doing that, you have a chance of suspending the evil inside of this person and potentially preventing this person from ever doing anything like that ever again. But if we continue, and that's just a high school shooting, by the way, it could be a case where there could be an employee at a job who feels like he could be bullied in work as well, or he could just feel like he could feel worthless, and he could feel like he doesn't make a difference. And the key point here is, it doesn't matter if it's a high school shooting or a mass shooting or whatever. I think what it comes down to is, if we continue to ignore these people, if we don't sit down with these people and ask them how they feel, the more important, it's not just about it's not really about that person getting help. That person has to help themselves too. Like, I mean, if somebody's feeling like that, it's important that they avail of the services that are provided. You know, counselling services. You know, and seek the mental health that they may need. So I think we need to talk more about mental health, and I think people need to be listened to, and they need to talk about how they feel, because if they don't talk about, if that student who feels like they want to walk into a high school and shoot people up, if they don't talk about that, if they're not listened to, I'm telling you, the evil inside of them, it will boil up to a stage where it will be out of control, and the evil will take over, and they will commit a horrendous violent crime. So straight out banning a gun is not going to be a long-term solution. It might make it harder for people to get hold of the gun, but I am telling you, if somebody wants to get hold of a gun, they will get hold of a gun. It's that simple. So you can see why banning the gun is not going to be the long-term solution. You cannot ban the evil. In order to get to a long-term solution, you need to understand what is going through these people's heads, what they're feeling, what they're going through, and basically exercising the evil inside of them. Because again, you don't have to be religious to believe in the concept of evil. Evil is a real thing. It's a real energy, and I think evil comes from. It's like a yin-yang effect. Evil comes from good. I think love comes from hate. Hate comes from love. It's yin-yang. I feel that evil is when your good side is not nurtured, when you're trying to be good, when you're trying to express goodness, but when it's ignored, it rots. That goodness rots. And that rottenness, well, it transforms like a bacteria. You know, it transforms into pure evil. So therefore, you know, you become the opposite of good, and you become evil. Like that student, that high school shooter, might have been the most nicest, and a lot of the times you hear that these people were loners, that they never did anything out of the ordinary, that they never really hurt anyone. But you can see now what I mean. I mean, these people might have been the nicest people in the world, and they might have wanted to make friends in school, but you know the way things are. I mean, there's bullies. You get bullied for being nice. That's how bad this world is. So maybe that student felt like, okay, I'm being good, I'm trying to be good, I'm trying to make friends, I'm trying to be nice to people, and it's getting thrown back in my face. So that goodness, it goes to waste, and it rots, like a food, you know, it rots. And I think that rotted goodness then transforms into evil, and these people feel pure evil, and they commit these violent crimes. They get a gun, they go into a school and they shoot people up because they feel like this is how they feel. They feel like they want to do this. They want to hurt people. They want to kill people. That's how evil that person has become. So I really feel like these people need to be listened to before it's too late. We need to address mental health. We need to address bullying. We need to address the causes, not the murder weapon. The murder weapon is not the problem. The problem is the motive, the cause. You know, I think this is actually, if I do say so myself, I think it's the most intelligent gun control debate I think anybody has ever had. Can I say that? Can I be cocky and say that? No, like I'm not American, so I mean I'm not going to go too into like gun control because it personally doesn't affect me as an Irishman, as a European. But I just really feel like straight up banning guns and saying, okay, we ban guns now, we'd never have to worry about a high school shooting. I think that's complete bullshit. I don't understand why Americans are so kind of uptight about like the possibility of them not having a gun. I will admit that. Like, I know it's in their constitution, their right to bear arms, but I just don't understand this mentality of I'm an American, therefore I have to have a gun. I mean, I don't understand that really, but at the same time I don't understand why people feel like banning guns straight out is prevent these horrendous acts of violence, because again, you can ban the gun but you cannot ban evil. No, I just put evil there as a kind of not as an example, but I just think that evil is the best way to describe, you know, the emotion, the energy that goes through somebody's mind when they're committing these acts of violence. I mean, if you actually move away from high school shootings slightly and talk about like an ISIS member, radicalized activist Muslim, right? The kind of things that these people do. I mean, you're talking about beheadings. Oh, man, you're talking about young children who are beheading people. I don't know if you can get any more evil than that. This is the most deepest video I've actually ever made. That's pure evil right there. And again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. These are kids who may have seen their entire family blown up by America and England and the West because of war, because of the war on terrorism. You see, let's look at this. 9/11. The official story of 9/11. I'm not in this video going to go into a debate about what happened on 9/11, but the official debate is Al Qaeda were involved with the 9/11 terrorist attacks, so Afghanistan, the Middle East, basically. Now, obviously, a lot of those, as a result of that, as a result of 9/11, obviously, America went to war on terror, and a lot of the countries in which these terrorists live in the Middle East, they got bombed. But here's the unfortunate part of all that. It's nice to see that terrorists got wiped off the face of the earth, but what you're talking about is young children in the Middle East who are seeing their homes being blown up, their family being blown to pieces. This child doesn't understand what's happening. This child doesn't understand why his mother has been blown to bits right in front of him, or he or her. The child doesn't understand that. So that child grows up, like that child will grow up hating America. That child will grow up hating England and hating the West, because he will blame the West for killing his family, for destroying his home. So that's how I was born into the world, as an innocent, loving child. And then that goodness gets corrupted by what he has witnessed, he or she has witnessed. And then the evil festers inside of him or her. And a lot of these children then, they get radicalized by older and older people who have more of a sinister agenda other than getting revenge for the deaths of their family. They radicalize these children, and out of pure hate and out of pure evil and out of pure hurt and sadness, these people behead British soldiers or British journalists in the name of Allah, in the name of ISIS. But it's because they've been radicalized by pure hate and pure evil. We can see how it happens. It's deep, man. It's kind of like, how can I say, I'm looking for a word here, I can't describe it, but basically, like, terrorists from the Middle East attacked America. But you got to look at how all that started, how that evil started. It started because a lot of these terrorists, they would have seen, before they were terrorists, they were children, innocent children, with goodness inside of them, playing with toys and just being a child, being innocent. And because of wars that these children had no idea about, didn't care about, didn't understand, they saw their entire homes be destroyed, their family being killed by the West, by America and England. So naturally these children are going to grow up hating the West. And that's where they got radicalized, became Al-Qaeda members, and, people like Osama bin Laden and the likes, and that's what led eventually to the attack of America. By no means am I justifying the attack on America on 9/11, just putting into context how it came to be. And to get back to the title of the video about, like, ban the gun, but you can't ban the evil. I mean, we can ban the gun for gun crime, and we can try to fight terrorism, but we're creating more terrorism by what we're doing. By going into these countries and bombing them, we're essentially repeating the cycle all over again, because we're like, oh, ISIS have attacked us, now we have to attack their base. And the reality is, right beside their base are hospitals and schools where innocent children are being blown up, and families are being destroyed and blown up. And then you've got kids witnessing this, and they grew up hating America all over again. So it's a cycle. But that's just, I just wanted to kind of give another example of how evil festers inside of people. So the evil inside of these innocent children who saw their homes and families being blown to bits by the West. That evil festered, and they got radicalized by the Al-Qaeda or ISIS, and that evil is what led to these children eventually becoming terrorists and committing terror on the West. But to get back to the whole kind of, I suppose, ban the gun, can't ban evil, the gun control. I just think if you ban a gun, it's going to make things harder for. It's going to make it harder for people to get hold of a gun, but they will eventually get hold of a gun, and it won't be a long-term solution to these acts of violence. The evil will continue to lurk inside these people who are not listened to, who are not talked to, who are not looked after. So I'm not. I don't agree. I'm not in favour of gun control. I don't believe that gun control is a long-term solution. Again, the gun is just a murder weapon. It's not the cause. It's not the motive. We have to look at the motive. We have to look at why these people are committing these acts of violence. So it needs to happen sooner than later. I mean, how they do it? I'm not a politician. I'm not a doctor. I presume that the best way to do it is to strengthen mental health services in America, introduce mental health lessons in schools in America, and just really listening to the students more and understanding how they feel to prevent these kind of things from happening, and moving away from schools. I mean, in the workplace, just in life in general. So the evil inside of people who witness traumatic, who go through traumatic experiences in life are listened to. Okay, and that's how we tackle the issue. It's not about banning the murder weapon, but understanding and getting to grips with the motive to prevent these crimes from happening again. So that's all I need to say in this video, really. You can ban the murder weapon, but you cannot ban evil, which I believe is the motive and the cause of these incidents. A lot of these incidents happen because of traumatic incidents that happens in these people's lives, and that's what festers the evil inside of them. So basically, evil creates evil. Evil creates evil. There's a reason and cause for everything. Nobody walks into a building and shoots people for no reason. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's not about the gun. And again, even though I am wrapping this video up, but I mean, the main issue is, one of the main issues is not how the person got hold of the gun. Because again, you can ban that gun and the person will still get hold of it, because making something illegal and banning it doesn't mean that the person can't get hold of it. So the issue is not about how they got hold of the gun, it's about how they were allowed to walk into a premises and shoot people up. I mean, you got to look at security, you got to look at you got to look at security there. How was that person allowed to walk into a school with a gun, or walk into a concert with a gun? I mean, Jesus, I mean, you can barely walk into like events these days, you know, no mobile phones allowed. I mean, if there was a wrestling event right now in at the Tree Arena in Dublin, where, no mobile phones, and you'd be sure, like, if you took out your mobile phone, you'd be sure there'd be a security guard saying, put that phone away. So it's amazing how people can walk into these premises with guns and shoot people up. That's an issue that needs to be looked at, more so than banning the murder weapon. But more importantly, what needs to be looked at is the motive, the cause, and making sure that the evil lurking inside of people doesn't fester any longer. And I'm not going to talk any longer. I'm just going to say, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you feel like banning the gun is going to be the long-term solution, or do you agree with me and feel like we need to look at the root cause of these incidents? What do you know? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to thank everybody for watching, especially ProChronicsVlogz, me buddy, the #1 YouTuber. I mean, this guy could be on Mount Everest, you know, doing a very important climb, and he would still take the time just to left the like and off the pitch. Like, it's become a slogan of his now, but it's support, and I appreciate it. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter what this guy is doing and where he is, he will always give me that support, and I appreciate that. So ProChronicsVlogz, big shout out to you, and especially the fact that he transitioned from Green Herb Gaming to Johnny Talks. I know he really wants me to come back to Green Herb Gaming. He wants me to do a video actually of Super Mario 64. This is a game as part of both our childhoods, but I'm going to get to that later. But I will return to Green Herb Gaming. But nonetheless, big shout out to you, ProChronicsVlogz. Shout out to Hamino Games as well, Black Knight the Gamer, Aiden, DLA, Mindpix Gaming, and all of my lobby supporters who have given me 80 subs which is great. You know what I mean? I don't keep track of subs, but it's great, and it's great support, and I appreciate all that. So a big shout out to all of you lovely people. Not to steal Alex from Nintendo Life's slogan. Hello, lovely people. That's what he says. But anyway, so thank you all for watching, and as I said before, there'll be many more episodes of Johnny Talks. In fact, this is the second episode. This is the second episode of Johnny Talks in one day. So there's going to be a lot more of Johnny Talks going forward. So this will be a great time for you as well to let me know what you think of this series overall. You know, are you a fan of it? Do you think I should just give it up and go back to Green Hub Gaming? No offense though, I wouldn't listen. No offense. I know I'm asking you. You can let me know, but no offense. I'm too independent to really. No offense, but I'm too independent of a person to kind of to do what other people tell me to do. So you can let me know what you think, but I will still be doing Johnny Talks. And let me know what you think of this video, you know, how you feel about all of this. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.